drones that deliver pizza, robots and humans falling in love, cars that can avoid stormtroopers, an unboxing of the Daydream View, and Microsoft goes open source. We have something for everyone coming up on Tech News Today.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for Tech News Today is provided by CashFly at CACHEFLY.com.
This is Tech News Today, episode 1643, recorded Wednesday, November 16th, 2016.
This episode of Tech News Today is brought to you by Tracker, a coin-sized tracking device that pairs with your smartphone and keeps you from losing your most valued possessions. Visit thetracker.com right now, enter the promo code TNT, and you can receive a free Tracker Bravo with any purchase.
And by Epson's new EcoTank printers. With Epson's line of SuperTank all-in-one printers, you can print thousands of documents without running out of ink. EcoTank is loaded and ready to print when you are. Visit epson.com/ecotank to find out more.
And by ZipRecruiter. Are you hiring? With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post to 100-plus job sites, including social networks, all with a single click. Screen, rate, and hire the right candidates fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/twit. Welcome to Tech News Today. This is the show where we talk about all about everything technology, all about it. Today, I'm Megan Maroney.
I'm Jason Howell. I was trying to think of what is the counter to Charles in Charge, because if one of us could be Charles in Charge, what would the other one of us be? Because we're not doing that anymore. What happened to this tradition?
I know. Sorry.
It's a lot to manage.
I can keep doing it. I thought you didn't like it.
What? There's a part of me that was afraid of what I would hear, but I actually really liked it. Right. I'm realizing I'm missing it.
Okay. I'll get back to it. We're Joni and Chachi then.
Oh, yeah, that works. Okay. I like it.
Of Tech News.
Yes, of course. Facebook took a closer look at its ad metrics after the discovery 3 months back that it was miscalculating how long people were watching video content on the site. What they found was another 4 instances of miscalculation of things like overstating time spent reading instant articles and the number of people interacting with business Facebook pages, among other things. Facebook vows to avoid more errors by creating a measurement council of its top advertisers and partners. VP of Global Marketing Solutions, Carolyn Everson, said, quote, "We hope to learn every single day about how we can improve the way we service our clients." There was another error that was in referrals where Facebook overstated by 6% the amount of traffic from Facebook to app makers' sites and to their apps. Another one double counted repeat visitors for Facebook pages. So they're digging up a lot of stuff that they're missing apparently along the way. Yeah,
they were overcounting and undercounting, which I thought that was interesting. And the time spent per article was overreported by 7 to 8%. So that means that our attention span is actually shorter than we already thought it was. They're getting down to the nitty gritty there. Like now they've changed the name. So like video view, it used to be just like this many video views. Now it's video views, 3-second views or 10-second views or 30-second views. So like someone's paying, if you look at their advertising video for 3 seconds, like that's all it takes. They're paying some amount of money for just 3 seconds of your time. That's all they ask, and they got you.
That's apparently. When you're scrolling and you see the video start to play, and then you go, no, I'm going to do it. And apparently that's long enough to make some sort of an impression from an ad perspective or awareness perspective. There's a lot of metrics here that advertisers can cling on to here. 220 metrics, a little bit more than that actually. So this is a small number of these, but Facebook, they continue to say, just trust us. Like, it's not a big deal. We've got it figured out. This is just kind of another thing as part of a bad week for Facebook, I suppose.
Yeah. At least they're admitting it, I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. At least they're actually looking. At least they have, what is it called? A measurement council, which sounds like a really impressive council, if you ask me.
Yeah. And then they have a website that you can go to. It's the Advertiser Help Center, and it's got a little owl with big glasses. He's so cute. Well, no, hell hath not frozen over, but Microsoft has joined the Linux Foundation, and as a platinum member, no less. If you remember Microsoft's long campaign against Linux and the open source movement, then this might surprise you, but it makes sense when you know that Microsoft already participates in many Linux Foundation projects, including Node.js Foundation, Open Daylight, Open Container Initiative, R Consortium, and Open API Initiative. Another surprise move, Google announced today that they are joining Microsoft's open source initiative, the .NET Foundation. So it turns out that everybody can get along.
Yeah, the Google joining .NET is actually pretty interesting when you consider Android runs on Java and .NET, is kind of one of its biggest competitors. But it really seems like maybe this is possibly more about the Google Cloud Platform, support for that than anything else. I find it funny as far as Microsoft and Linux. It's such a stark difference now versus the Ballmer era, where Steve Ballmer famously compared Linux, or said Linux is a cancer. And it's just such different ways of thinking. And now Microsoft, under Nadella, they've done an about face as far as their dedication, their compliance with open source, and actually just kind of welcoming it into the doors. So, I mean, it's obviously, I think it's working really well for Microsoft. They've really changed their image in a number of good ways.
Yeah, I mean, not just welcoming in the door, the platinum membership is $500,000 annually, which I guess doesn't seem, kind of probably is a drop in the bucket for Microsoft. But, that's the platinum membership.
But it's symbolic.
Right.
It's it's certainly symbolic, especially considering their history.
Right. And at the open source airport, they can get into the lounge and get the free cocktails.
Oh, that's good. That's a nice little perk.
I don't know. I would like to be
They get a sticker.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe a little pin to attach to their backpack.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know where this open source airport is, and I'm not sure if I'd like to fly. I think I probably would like to fly the planes in the open source.
An open source plane? That might actually be a pretty safe plane. Everybody would be making sure of it. Google had some big news regarding VR, and no, it has nothing to do with its own VR platform, the Daydream View, or just the Daydream platform in general. Instead, it showed off a new VR version of Google Earth that is available for free to HTC Vive users. In it, users can explore a large number of destinations across the globe, including important historical sites, cultural treasures. Users can also fly to a number of locations for a virtual guided tour of the area. It does sound, though, that some of the reviews of this software, at least right now, obviously not every single part of the world is blanketed in this fully, immersive 3D experience. Some of them, it's flat imagery. So it kind of seems like this inclusion of virtual guided tours is a way to kind of direct people to the places that they have built out. But still, it sounds like a lot of fun to throw on the goggles and fly around the world.
You mean they weren't able to cover all 197 million square miles already?
Not yet.
What were they doing?
But through artificial intelligence and neural networks, who knows?
Well, I mean, I read the reviews, and those complainers, some places look like Lego buildings, they said, but literally the Earth is big, and this is amazing. I wish that we had the Vive
really
still
cool.
here. I wish that I could experience it. It just feels like teleportation and flight are here. Some of the reviews that I read on the Steam store, somebody said, I just took a tour of my childhood in VR. It was, I don't know, it was one of these things that's makes you say, this is why I love technology. It looks really amazing.
Yeah.
It might even make you question the nature of your reality.
Is it real or is it not real? I don't even know anymore. The lines are blurring so much. It will be coming to other platforms next year, they say. I have to imagine one of those is Daydream. It's kind of interesting that they've just launched Daydream and it's not for that, but I'm sure there's a reason. And it's not without precedent. Google owns Tilt Brush. Tilt Brush has been out for the HTC Vive for a while, not out on Daydream yet, although I think that's right around the corner.
But it would need a more computing power to run to run Google Earth on Daydream. I mean, it would look.
Well, I don't know.
Good, right?
I don't know. I mean, that's a really great question. I don't know if that's the reason why it was held back, or maybe it was just the fact that they started development on this well before kind of Daydream had kind of solidified and become what it is. I mean, part of the Daydream thing is that it requires a certain level of processing on the mobile platform. on the mobile processor and a certain amount of memory and everything in order to do it. So it requires increased specs to do it. I don't know how that translates between the HTC Vive platform and Daydream with this particular app, though.
Well, burrito drones, they are so last week. Welcome our newest robot overlord from the sky, the pizza drone. After testing the delivery service this summer, the drone company Flirtey is now officially delivering pizza orders to residents of Whangaparaoa, about 20 miles north of Auckland, New Zealand. Domino says they're looking to deliver in Australia, Belgium, France, the Netherlands, Japan, and Germany. Let's just hope they're not going to use any of those recalled GoPro Karma drones. That would be sad for you and your pizza.
I don't know. Your pizza would still fall out of the sky and you'd be able to eat it. You just have a drone sitting there too.
Yeah.
On the ground next to your pizza. Well, your pizza might get smashed though. And we would not want that.
I, as you know, on a personal note, my car was hit by a Domino's pizza delivery driver earlier this year. So I am super excited about drones.
I'm super excited about taking Domino's drivers off the road.
Yes.
Instead replacing them with drones flying through the sky.
It cannot come too soon for me. So this is an unmanned aerial vehicle for those drone enthusiasts. It's the Drew drone by Flirtey. This ride took about 5 minutes. And if you are in one of these areas where you could get a pizza drone and you don't want it, it's an opt-in. So no one's going to force you to get your pizza by drone.
In order to get one of those pizzas, do you have to have one of those huge tarmacs laid out on your lawn so that it has a target to land on?
Yeah, that is the big question. I guess I don't.
My pizza's coming. Flatten it out on your yard. Probably not the best way to go about it. I doubt that's the case, but why was it there if it's not the case? Apparently, Domino's is really big on robotics. I didn't realize this. They have a unit, Domino's Robotic Unit, aptly named. They rolled out self-navigating delivery robots in Australia last March. This little guy. And apparently, this is also going to be expanding worldwide. So not only is Domino's taking to the sky, they're also taking to the sidewalk. With this all in the effort of delivering pizza to your front door
and not totaling my car,
and not running into you on
running a stop sign.
Yes. So maybe that's a good idea. Electric cars are quiet, so much so that it's hard to know when one might be driving right up to you on the street. The U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration issued a new rule that requires electric vehicles to produce some sort of noise during operation, particularly while they're traveling at slower speeds. NHTSA did not specify what kind of noise should be emitted when traveling below 20 miles an hour. So it's 19 miles per hour and below, leaving that decision up to the manufacturer to decide. What do you think they're going to decide, Megan?
I don't know. I'm partial to the ooga sound, but really anything would be fine. Birds, ocean sounds, like the theme from Jaws, perhaps.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. And then as it gets closer to you, and then you just think it's going to hit you because, like, what else are you going to think if that happens? So maybe don't do that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they say anything over 19 miles per hour, so 20 miles per hour and above, already makes noise because of wind resistance, because of the noise of the tire on concrete. The deadline to equip all vehicles that fall into this category, September 1st, 2019. However, a year prior to that, September 1st, 2018, half of the new hybrids and electric vehicles have to be following this standard. So I guess we'll find out the answer to what noise they choose very soon.
Well, Father Robert is trying out for a role in the next Fast and Furious movie, or he's at the LA Audio Show. You choose, and you can find out for sure after the break. But first, let's take a minute to thank Tracker, the sponsor of this episode. Now, at this point, we are all used to losing our stuff. Newsweek reports that the average American wastes 55 minutes a day looking for things they own but cannot find. Tracker makes losing things a thing of the past, and I'll tell you how to get one for free. The Tracker Bravo locates misplaced keys, wallets, computers, backpacks, bicycles, even your pet in seconds. The coin-sized device is constructed with anodized aluminum, and that's for the thinnest, most durable tracking. You can easily attach it to your item via a key loop or an adhesive. Tracker is enabled by Bluetooth LE, so the battery lasts up to 1 year. You can add a laser engraved message to each Tracker Bravo, like return information, all your details, or your pet's information. And you can now personalize your tracker with a custom printed image. Pair Tracker to your iOS or your Android device, and then find its precise location with the tap of a button. It's just that easy. Now, your phone can track up to 10 devices at once. So if you have a lot of different stuff that you lose, stick a tracker on everything and call it a day. You can customize two-way separation alerts so you're notified before you leave your item behind. And if you lose your phone, you can press the button on your tracker and your phone will ring even if you've put your phone on silent. There are over 3.5 million devices, so Tracker has the largest crowd GPS network in the world. So there are a lot of people out there that can help you, and your lost item shows up on a map even if it's miles away. Now, if you lose your item, the Tracker app records its last known location on a map. Then when another Tracker user comes within 100 feet of your item, you'll receive a GPS update of where your item is located. Go to thetracker.com and never lose your possessions again. Plus, just for our audience, if you enter promo code TNT, you'll get a free Tracker Bravo with your order. That's THETRACKR.com. Don't forget to use the promo code TNT, and you'll get your free Tracker Bravo today. So Father Robert Ballasar is back from Rome, but he's off again to the LA Auto Show. He's there this week, and he sent us this message about some of the things that he's seen so far.
Hey, Jason. Hey, Megan. We're here at the LA Auto Show, actually Auto Mobility, where we're seeing a combination of traditional, what the future of gearheading might be. Now, the more traditional side would be something like this. We're at the Ford booth. This is their EcoBoost engine. It's a 1-liter, 123 horsepower, 145 foot-pound of torque engine that's, well, tiny. This thing is the size of the glove box in most cars, and yet Ford has been able to squeeze all of this power because of the way they use fuel injection and they use a turbocharger. This kind of technology always gets me excited because it shows that manufacturers are willing to do more with less, to take the technology that currently exists and push it to the next level. In fact, this engine will get you about 42 to 45 miles per gallon. Imagine that in your next supercar. But it's not just about gearing. It's not just about combustion. One of the big things here at the auto show has been the push into the connected future. Every vendor is showing off their smarts. They're showing off their different safety features. In fact, Nissan, in the booth behind us, is showing off their connection with Rogue One by announcing a suite of products, of sensors tied together with some very sophisticated software that can actually determine when your car is going to get into an accident before it actually gets into an accident. It's this sort of predictive big data analysis happening in real time that is going to change the face of automotive technology. Now, speaking of changing the face of automotive technology, one of the big announcements I think you're probably going to be talking about on TNT is the investment that Intel has made into the connected car. They put $250 million in order to get their share of 4 terabytes of data that will be coming each day out of fleets of automated vehicles. Now, this won't just give Intel a foothold, a toehold into the automated car industry. It also gives them, well, something about the future, a way to collect data about our roadways, about our driving habits, about congregations that will give them something that, well, we can't quantify yet, but could be a huge, huge payoff for the Silicon Valley giant. Now, this and other bits of news are trickling out of the auto show all day. It's not quite open to the public, and when it does, these halls will be filled with people looking to get their hands on the latest and the greatest in technology. Until then, I'm Father Robert Ballasar, the digital Jesuit, with this Twit Live special, sending it back to the studio and TNT.
We're catching it. Thank you for sending that back. Yeah.
I'm really excited about technology in the car that could actually make my car automatically avoid stormtroopers and X-Wing. That is what I need for sure.
Yeah, I know. As he's talking, you see this raging like Star Wars battle happening behind, and I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me when I'm out on the road driving. Yeah. I do think that the Intel announcement is interesting in the sense that Kruzanich is kind of painting data and especially data from within the car. And he even says data is the new form of oil, just basically illustrating the fact that these cars, like in the near future, are going to be creating so much quantifiable data that it's like it makes a lot of sense to be able to tap into that and be able to use that in useful ways. He says by 2020, they're going to produce as much data in a day as about 3,000 people. So, I mean, obviously that's just an insane amount of computing power that has to kind of manage that.
Yeah, I mean, we've been already working on our holiday specials to have content while we're celebrating our own holidays. And, we were thinking about what's the biggest stories of the year. And it's like AI and, all this data and the combination with self-driving cars. And I'm really excited because Tim Stevens said he would come on and talk to us about this. And just that is where all of this automation, it's like we like to make a lot of robot jokes, but really seeing all of that stuff work in the self-driving car is more important than drones delivering pizza.
It depends on how hungry you are. Pretty much.
Good point. You can watch more of Father Robert's coverage of the LA Auto Show. All of that is at twit.tv/specials.
Yes, definitely check it out. And I'm sure we'll see him back here at the studio tomorrow, I'm guessing. I don't know. Well, in a couple of days. Devin Shaw writes about the conversation that we actually had. We had this conversation a few weeks ago about lightning cables fulfilled by Amazon. Devin says, I wanted to share that I have been buying Amazon Basics lightning cables for years, and they are priced well and reliable. Also, Amazon Basics has batteries, mice, and other stuff. So thank you for the tip there. I guess.
Yeah, so we were talking about ones that, that were purported to be Apple cables,
right?
And were fulfilled by Amazon or sold on Amazon. So the Amazon Basics, I've had
Are those
like
Amazon
experience.
Branded? Is that?
Yeah, it's
is
called
that
Amazon Basics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Burke, you've had a good experience with those too, right?
Amazon Basics is reliable.
He says they are reliable.
They're reliable. So yeah, I mean, if you and I buy a pack of a dozen lightning cables. I've said this a bunch of times before, and they disappear. I don't know where they. It's like the black hole for lightning cables. It's not the first time I've said that.
Wow, a dozen and they all disappear. I guess I can understand that.
It's like socks, paired socks. Like where do they go?
Who knows? Someday you'll find a little hole underneath the house, and all of your socks and your lightning cables will be hiding out in there. Coming up, I got a new toy here at work, so we're gonna unbox it. But first, let's take a minute to thank Epson. They are the sponsor of this episode. Epson's revolutionary cartridge-free EcoTank line of printers for home and office introduce a new age in printing. An amazing, innovative, refillable ink tank on the side that you can see right there. It earned the title of CES 2016 Innovation Awards honoree. So you just fill up the tank when you need to, but you're not going to need to for a really long time. That's the beauty of it. No more out-of-ink frustration. It includes up to 2 years of ink. That's equal to 11,000 black pages or 8,500 color pages. And then, if you absolutely have to, you just fill it up. You can save up to 80% on ink with low-cost replacement bottles. It's powered by precision core printing technology. It has auto two-sided printing and a 30-page auto document feeder. As well, another pain point in printing can be printing from the device that you have in your pocket. If you have your phone and you need to print something, I know my experience in the past is it's not been a very easy experience, but here you have easy wireless printing from tablets and smartphones. They've really figured it out. All EcoTank printers deliver an unbeatable combination of convenience and value. With Epson's EcoTank line of printers, you'll have the freedom to print without running out of ink. The Epson EcoTank system was named the 2016 Small Biz Windows Printer of the Year, so you should check it out. Visit epson.com/ecotank today to transform the way your home, office, or work group prints. For the best combination of ease and value, turn to the Epson EcoTank printers. That's epson.com/ecotank. And we thank Epson for their support. All right. Are you ready?
I think so. Is it for me?
Google Daydream View. These headsets officially shipped to those who pre-ordered online, as well as those of us who pre-ordered a Pixel phone. If you did that, as did I, then you got the View for free, but you had to wait until now. As you can see, we have the Daydream View. I got it. I resisted opening it. I know we've already talked about it on the show in the past, but we have it here in the studio. So I want to find out first and foremost if it's moist.
if someone's used it already.
Yeah, did they? Oh, sorry, I didn't leave that in a very good spot. So we thought we'd kind of unbox this and see what we got on the inside. I know I'm going to be playing around with this for a little while. I just, what I noticed right before the show, they just released the game. What is that? Here, I have it in the dock here, actually. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once. It's Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that game?
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
So, did you get to choose the color, or that's the only color I've seen?
This is the, and see, we've got the remote control right there. No, I didn't get to choose the color. I think I didn't really notice that there were any options for me to choose the color actually when I.
Because it should be able to match your Google Home, don't you think? I mean, from an aesthetic perspective.
I suppose so. But what do you think? So you've seen these, obviously they talk it up as being kind of like a nice, comfortable VR.
It is
VR viewer. It's soft. It's like sweatpants material.
It does feel like sweatpants material. It is soft. I mean that. Yeah, but that part, and it's soft on. It looks like it's soft on the inside. I'm not going to put it on my face because I have makeup on.
But you can feel that to know that if sweaty foreheads have been pressed up into that for an entire VR conference. I don't know, just a theoretical thing I'm throwing out there, that it might possibly get sweaty and damp.
But you can take that out, right?
Yeah, apparently you can. Let's see here. I'm not going to do a very good unboxing here because I've never actually seen it before. Oh, yeah. So there we go. This could make a good Halloween costume.
Yes. Let's feel what that
But yeah, so apparently you can just throw this right in the
wash.
What's up?
With the face mask.
Just the visor on?
Just the visor, yeah. Yes, true.
It has the smell of chemicals. Okay. Anyways, I'm really excited to kind of play around with this. It's got, obviously, the little flappy-doo thing right here.
I liked that the remote could fit in the front. That was the most exciting part for me because I'm famous for losing remotes.
Little remote area here. You just go like that. Put that in. And there we go. Whoa. It just pops right in there. Thank you, Burke.
Are you going to wear it for the rest of the show?
No, because then that would be difficult. If I had a prompter app in here, someone make a prompter app for the show. But so I mean, I had very little time with it when I was at VRDC, and this is a really nice light VR goggle. I actually really like it. So I'm interested to play around with it. There are a ton of games that have released right now. Like I said, Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes, although that requires at least a couple of people. Fantastic Beasts, of course, which is the J.K. Rowling's experience. There's a whole bunch of others. So I'm hoping if I can figure out how to do this and then send video, and be able to record the VR experience somehow with our equipment here at TWiT, I can do some sort of a focus on Daydream apps. On Android App Arena, but I guess I got to put it on at least once. Well, actually, no, it's okay if you're wearing makeup. Do you want to wear it?
You put it on first. I don't want to break in your goggles. You put them on first. So wait, do you have the Gear VR at home?
I have the Gear VR at home.
And when was the last time you used that?
No, that's a good question. I don't really use it very often.
And do you see yourself using this more often?
I think. At least to a certain degree, yes, because it's a little bit closer to what Google is doing, and it's based on what I do here at TWiT. I need to be a little bit in tune with what Google is doing on their VR efforts because it's part of the Android ecosystem. And also just the fact that the phone that I use regularly is the Google Pixel phone, and that's the only device that actually works with the Daydream View right now. And so there's very little resistance here. One of my problems with the Gear VR is that it's the Galaxy S7 that I have for that, and is it charged? It doesn't it doesn't fit in there very nicely. With this, you just drop it in, and the 4 dots here. I'll open it up.
Yeah, open that flap.
Yeah, I'll open that flap. And these 4 dots right here, those touch to the screen, and that orients wherever center is. And so there's no fumbling to get it centered or just right. Once the screen touches that with the Daydream app, it goes whoop, and it centers it, and you're all good.
So just believe me, and anyone just listening to this, believe me that when I say that you look fantastic.
Do I?
In the dream. And also, believe me, when I was so tempted to just get up and walk away, like while you were talking to me,
wait a minute,
because you couldn't see,
it doesn't matter.
That's the
This
child
is a
in me
great
that I was just like,
game.
let's all go, and then CK's we're all gone, and you take that off, and
All right. Well, maybe I'll wear it like this for the rest.
so just beware of that if
Okay.
you're wearing
It's possible.
3D goggles.
It's possible whoever you're doing a show with might just leave. Is what you're warning me against.
Yeah, or just yeah. But it does look better than some of the. I think it looks better than the Gear VR looked.
It's not an attractive look, let's say. But any way that you can improve it, and I suppose Google has done a good job of kind of coming out with a VR goggle that strangely has at least some sort of semblance of a focus on style, if that's what they're doing here, or comfort, or it doesn't outwardly look like a piece of technology in and of itself. It's not covered in plastic, that sort of thing. So I give them points for that. But yeah, interesting. I'll play around with it, and I'll make sure that it's not damp if you want to check it out.
Okay, all right. So the keep talking and nobody explodes. Are you all meant to be wearing your Daydream VR headsets playing the game together?
No, I'm trying to remember. I think it's just one person wearing. Because I remember Leo actually showed it off on the Twit network a while back. And you have, or I, let's say, have access to all of the controls of this bomb, this ticking time bomb, and all of these different kind of mini puzzles attached to it. And then you, if you're outside of the VR experience, you have a big manual that has all of these different, walks the person that's in VR through how to disable each of those individual components. And you can have, I think, up to 3 or 4 people with those manuals, all like commanding different parts of the experience. So it's a total team game. Yeah, this is from when they did it with Jason Calacanis and Peter Rojas and a few other people, and Ian Thompson. There we go.
So you're meant to put
it was a lot of fun.
You don't put your phone. Where do you put your phone? Does the phone go in it or no? Okay, so it doesn't work with my iPhone 7.
You got to take the remote out.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Or the controller, right?
Yeah.
So we discovered, so it only works with the Pixel, and we discovered that you can't even download the Daydream VR app yet on other phones.
Well, yeah,
other Android phones. Like obviously, I can't do it on my iPhone.
It's only cleared for the Pixel. Yeah.
So, what would happen if I used another VR app with my iPhone and stuck it in there? Do you think, what would it do?
If you could just pull it up in kind of VR mode in the app, if you were able to trigger it
Google
and have
Cardboard
I'm not sure. I haven't tried it. It's possible that it would work. I know with Cardboard, a lot of times, like there's a little bit of some sort of signal from the Cardboard hardware, or if you want to call it hardware, to the phone that says that it's actually in the viewer, and we'll kind of sync it up that way. But I'm sure if you were to pull up like a YouTube video that was already in kind of that stereoscopic view and just throw it in there, I mean, there's no technology in the Daydream View, so I don't see why it wouldn't just show that to you. Getting any of the advanced controls and stuff, that would be a different story.
So it's $79.
Yeah, $79.99.
$90 Gear VR.
$100 pretty much Gear VR. So a little bit less than that. And I would say that the remote is what really kind of sets it off, right? Having that extra dimension of moving, like when I played with Fantastic Beasts, and you have a wand, it's kind of similar to the Harry Potter experience. You have a wand. And I mean, you feel like you have a wand. You know what I mean? You're in this experience. When you move it around, you see a representation of the wand. It takes the experience to another level. So for mobile VR to do that, I think that's a pretty important step. I think it's a big step.
And so obviously you have the big Pixel, but it works with the small or the big.
It works with both of them. I don't know if it works because I have a case in here, but I'm expecting it probably won't matter. This case isn't really a huge case at all. So yeah. There you go.
There it is.
There it is.
And hopefully you'll
it's
review
super
it.
soft. It's like a pillow.
You'll do your full review on one of your many shows.
It smells super chemically. I'm not going to lie. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Like new carpet.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it smells like. Sorry, you're high now. I apologize about that. There you go. Daydream View. That's what it is.
Well, TNT's fan of the day is James Kaler on Twitter, who says, I am watching TNT while on a river cruise down the Danube between Romania and Serbia. and I edited that with Snapseed. That's awesome.
It looks pretty processed.
It looks like art.
Yeah.
Watching art, making art.
Yeah. TNT is art.
Show us how you watch the art of TNT. Just record a video, take a picture of yourself, your setup, post it on Instagram, Google+, Twitter, Facebook. Use a filter of your choice and use the hashtag HowIWatchTNT. Otherwise, we won't be able to find it. Scientists are now teaching robots how to love. What will they think of next? But first, let's take a minute to thank ZipRecruiter, the sponsor of this episode. Are you hiring? Do you know where to post your job to find the best candidates? If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites. And with ZipRecruiter, now you can. Posting jobs in one place is not enough to find the quality candidates that you want to hire. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post to more than 100 job boards. That's including social media networks like Facebook and Twitter. And you can do all of that with just one click. Post once and watch your candidates roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. You'll have so many people to choose from. ZipRecruiter offers optimized pages that will look great on any screen that you're looking at. You can also add their unique mobile apply process, and then you'll get even more visitors, and that means more applicants. You can find candidates in any city, any industry, all over the nation. So no more juggling emails or calls to your office. The process is made so much easier. You can also add multiple users to your account because a lot of people are involved in the hiring process, and you can get them all involved with ZipRecruiter. So you can quickly screen your candidates with real-world questions, and then you can use free-form, multiple-choice, or yes-no formats, whatever works for you. And then you can view candidate responses in conjunction with their resumes, which don't look all crazy formatted with everything all over the place. They're beautifully formatted. Then you can rate them, and then you can hire the right person fast, because that's why you started this process in the first place. So find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 1 million businesses. Right now, right this second, right when you're done watching this show, or maybe pause the show and go do it now. You can post your jobs to ZipRecruiter for free. That's no money. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/twit. We want them to know that we sent you there to find your next hire. And we thank ZipRecruiter for their support of Tech News Today. So you've heard of robotics, no doubt, but have you heard of Love-otics?
Love-otics?
Love-otics.
I have not.
That is using robots to determine the science behind human love. Quartz pointed us to a white paper by the International Journal of Advanced Robotic Systems modeling an artificially intelligent probabilistic love assembly. That's based on the psychology of love, with an artificial endocrine system based on the physiology of love and affective state transition based on emotions, the simulated biological hormones like melatonin, epinephrine. They regulate things like drowsiness, blood pressure, and heartbeat rate, all the features of love, I guess. Add a graphical user interface to the Love-otics software, and you've got yourself a love robot.
That looks like a hat.
It looks like a little hat, and it is so cute. And I just really enjoyed reading this white paper, and you don't get to say that every day, do you? So they had 10 women and 10 men. They were asked to interact with the robot, and then they were given this love attitudes test. Have you ever heard of the love attitudes test?
No, I never had before reading this.
I guess it's used in couples to determine, I don't know, like why or why not they love each other.
Or what type of love they have.
Yeah, exactly. So most of the robot-human relationship scored very high on the Love-otics and the Storge scale. And that means they had fun together.
Oh.
Like, as opposed to the manic love, which means you do crazy things for each other. I mean, we've all been there, right? So, like, one of the questions is, if the robot ignores me for a while, what do I do? And then I sometimes do stupid things to get the robot's attention back. So that's not the kind of love we're talking about. That is not simulated through a white paper and research just yet.
I don't know where to go with this one. I feel like there are so many different places you can go with the Love-otics and the robot and all that. I'm guessing that the only reason that their relationship didn't move beyond just having fun together is because this robot looks like a hat with LEDs around the rim.
But it's so soft and cuddly looking, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, it looks like a tiny,
a little pet.
Yeah.
I guess it kind of looks like a pet. In some of I hadn't seen this video where it's breathing. Oh God, I just don't know. This is a weird world we're moving into.
It is. It is.
But I understand the idea behind the research and just the fact that if we're going to build effective robots, I mean, we model them after ourselves, right? And there's a whole lot. I mean, to a certain degree, we are very robotic, even though that's probably reverse, thinking in this regard. But there are ways to kind of break down how we as human beings operate and as living animals operate. And I suppose you can break that down into all of these little isolated things that work in concert to create something that can evoke something as strong as love. So I suppose there is a future where this has a place. And I should just accept that. But it still looks like a hat to me, and I just don't know.
Well, I mean, better we teach them to love us than to hate us.
That's true.
Correct? I mean...
Correct. It's important research here.
Yeah. I was fascinated by this, and I hope you were too, because I love robots, and now I know why.
In a... had fun together sort of way? Like you made me laugh sort of way?
I don't know. I mean, I've never had that kind of like the manic relationship with a robot, but I'm open to it.
Yes. Someday in the future, it just might happen. Crazier things have happened. TNT records live every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. UTC at twit.tv/live. You can be part of the show by emailing us at tnt@twit.tv. Leave us a short voicemail. It's 260-TNT-SHOW. And you can find us on Twitter. We're at Tech News Today TV.
I want to remind you to wish your friends a Merry Twitmas with our very own ugly Christmas sweater design. We're offering this exclusive design for a limited time. You can grab yours before November 23rd. Now, that's coming up, people. Go to teespring.com/Twitmas. And we want to remind you to subscribe to our show, wherever you listen or watch and listen to podcasts. You can subscribe at twit.tv/TNT. And if you want to tell me about your love for robots on Twitter, I'm at Megan Maroney.
And I'm at Jason Howell. Thanks to Kevin for both TDing today and for editing a little bit later and making us look even better, hopefully. Thanks to Charles, also known as Burke, for the words on the screen. And thanks to you for talking tech with us today. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.